The world was peaceful, but everything changed in an instant. One sunny morning, people were going about their day when strange ships appeared in the sky. These were not planes or drones, they were enormous dark ships that blocked the sun. Panic spread like wildfire as people looked up in fear. No one knew where the ships had come from or who was inside them. Suddenly, bright beams of light shot down from the ships, hitting the ground with explosive force. Buildings crumbled, cars flipped over, and chaos erupted everywhere. People screamed and ran in every direction, trying to escape the destruction. In just a few hours, cities that had stood for hundreds of years were reduced to rubble. The aliens had come to conquer Earth. They were ruthless and powerful, with advanced technology far beyond anything humans had seen. Their ships floated effortlessly in the sky, and their weapons could destroy entire blocks in seconds. They moved quickly, capturing anyone who dared to fight back. Those who resisted were met with swift punishment. As the attacks continued, the military tried to respond. Soldiers rushed to defend their cities, but they were no match for the alien invaders. The aliens flew over military bases, firing down on soldiers and tanks. In just a few days, many armies around the world were defeated. Reports of the invasion spread on television and social media, showing the destruction and fear that gripped the planet. In the Arctic, far from the chaos, a secret military project was ready to wake its soldiers. This project was hidden for years, built to create the ultimate fighters, super soldiers. These soldiers were not ordinary humans. They had special training, advanced technology, and the ability to survive in extreme conditions. But they lay asleep in cryo chambers, waiting for the right moment to be called upon. As Earth's last hope faded, a high-ranking officer made the difficult decision to wake them up. "We need them now more than ever," he said, his voice filled with urgency. The military personnel worked quickly, pressing buttons and turning knobs on the massive cryo chambers. Lights flashed and the machines hummed as they came to life. One by one, the super soldiers woke up, blinking against the bright lights. They felt strange and disoriented, but their training kicked in almost immediately. "What's happening?" asked a tall soldier with dark hair. "We were in cryo-sleep, weren't we?" "Yes, but now the world is in danger," the officer replied. "Aliens have invaded. We need your help to fight back." The soldiers exchanged determined looks. They knew they were humanity's last hope. "Let's do this," the leader said, his voice strong and steady. The team quickly suited up, donning their advanced armor and weapons. Each soldier had their unique skills, from expert marksmen to stealthy scouts. They were ready for battle, even if they hadn't fought for years. Meanwhile, the aliens continued their assault, moving from city to city, leaving nothing but destruction in their wake. The news showed images of people crying, buildings burning, and military vehicles being overrun. It was clear that the aliens did not plan to stop until they had conquered all of Earth. But the super soldiers were ready to change the tide. They had trained for this moment even while they slept. As they prepared for battle, they were filled with a sense of purpose. They would not let Earth fall into the hands of the invaders. The time had come for the super soldiers to face the aliens. They would step out of the shadows of the Arctic and into the chaos of the world. With their powers, training, and determination, they were ready to reclaim their planet. Earth was not done fighting, and the super soldiers would prove it. The fate of humanity rested on their shoulders, and they would not let their people down. The battle for Earth was about to begin. The cryo chambers hummed and whirred, filling the room with a strange, electric energy. The super soldiers stepped out, adjusting to the bright lights and the buzz of alarms. Their minds were sharp, recalling their training and mission. They knew the stakes, Earth was in grave danger, and time was running out. "Listen up, team!" shouted the leader, a tall soldier named Marcus. He looked at his comrades, who were all ready and eager to fight. "We have one goal: to save humanity from the aliens. They are strong, but we are stronger. We have the skills and the training. We can do this!" The soldiers nodded, feeling the weight of their mission. Each soldier had unique abilities. Sarah, a quick and agile fighter, had incredible speed. David, a tech expert, could hack alien systems and create chaos in their ranks. Lisa, a sharpshooter, had unmatched accuracy. Together, they formed a powerful team ready to take on the enemy. As they prepared, the officer in charge briefed them on the situation. "The aliens are attacking cities all over the world. They have advanced weapons, but we have something they don't: our training and teamwork." He pointed to a large map on the wall showing the locations of recent attacks. "Our first target is an alien outpost near a major city. We need to gather information and disrupt their plans. With their mission clear, the soldiers geared up. They wore advanced armor that enhanced their strength and protection. Each soldier carried high-tech weapons that could take down alien shields and armor. As they walked out of the base, they felt a mix of excitement and fear. This was their first real battle, and they were ready to show what they could do. The team moved quickly through the Arctic landscape, heading toward the nearest city. They used snowmobiles to speed across the frozen terrain. The cold air stung their faces, but they welcomed the chill. It reminded them that they were alive and ready to fight. As they approached the city, they could see the destruction left by the aliens. Buildings were in ruins and smoke filled the sky. "Stay sharp," Marcus warned as they reached the city's edge. "We don't know what we're up against." They moved quietly, using their training to blend in with the shadows. As they entered the city, they could hear the sounds of battle. The aliens were everywhere, using their advanced technology to wreak havoc. The soldiers spotted a group of aliens attacking a group of frightened civilians. Without hesitation, Marcus signaled for his team to move in. They sprang into action, using their speed and agility to flank the aliens. Sarah dashed forward, distracting the aliens with her quick movements. The aliens turned, confused and startled. "Now!" Marcus shouted. David activated his tech skills, hacking into the alien communication system. He created a loud noise that echoed through the streets, making the aliens panic. "What is that?" one of the aliens yelled, looking around in confusion. Lisa took aim with her weapon, her eyes steady and focused. She fired precise shots that disabled the aliens' weapons, leaving them vulnerable. The civilians watched in awe as the super soldiers fought with skill and determination. The battle was intense but short. The aliens were not prepared for such a fierce fight from humanity's best. The soldiers worked together flawlessly, covering each other and taking down their enemies one by one. Soon, the area was clear and the civilians cheered, their spirits lifted by the bravery of the super soldiers. Once the immediate threat was gone, the team gathered information from the defeated aliens. David quickly searched their equipment, finding maps and communication devices. "This is good," he said, holding up a device. "We can use this to track their movements and plans." Marcus smiled, feeling a surge of hope. "This is just the beginning. We can take back our world." The soldiers felt a new sense of purpose as they realized they could make a difference. The awakening of the super soldiers had changed everything. They were no longer just a secret project. They were humanity's champions, ready to fight for their home. As they prepared to move on to their next mission, they knew the road ahead would be dangerous. But they were ready to face whatever challenges came their way. Earth was worth fighting for, and together they would reclaim it from the aliens. The real battle was just beginning. The super soldiers stood in a makeshift command center, surrounded by the maps and data they had gathered from their first battle. David worked quickly, analyzing the alien information. The room was filled with tension and excitement. They had scored their first victory, but the fight was far from over. "Look at this," David said, pointing at the screen. "The aliens are planning another large attack on a nearby city. We have to warn them and prepare a counterattack." The team gathered around, listening closely. Marcus nodded, determination in his eyes. "We can't let them destroy more cities. This is our chance to show that humans will fight back. If we can hit them hard now, we might scare them off for good." Sarah, her spirit high from the previous victory, added, "Let's hit them where it hurts. If we take out their command center, we can disrupt their entire operation." Lisa checked her weapon, her expression serious. "I'm ready. We need to move fast before they can attack." The team quickly gathered their gear and left the command center. They hopped onto their snowmobiles, racing through the snowy landscape toward the city. As they rode, the adrenaline pumped through their veins. They felt like warriors, ready to take on the alien threat head-on. When they reached the city, the atmosphere was tense. The streets were empty, with debris scattered everywhere. It was clear the aliens had already begun their assault. Explosions rang out in the distance, shaking the ground beneath their feet. "Stay close together," Marcus instructed. "We need to move quickly and quietly." They moved through the shadows, relying on their training to remain undetected. They could see alien soldiers patrolling the streets, their weapons ready. As they approached the alien command center, the soldiers spotted an alien vehicle parked outside. It was large and heavily armored, with strange symbols glowing on its surface. "That must be their command center," David whispered, pointing to the vehicle. "We need to get inside and gather intel." "Let's do it," Marcus said, signaling for Sarah and Lisa to take point. They crept toward the vehicle, using the darkness to their advantage. Sarah quickly climbed onto the roof while Lisa positioned herself at the back, ready to strike. With a swift movement, Sarah jumped down into the open hatch of the command center. Inside, she saw alien screens flashing with information. "I found it," she called out, her heart racing. "They're planning to launch a massive attack on another city." Marcus and David joined her inside, scanning the screens for useful data. They quickly downloaded the information onto a device, knowing they had to act fast. Suddenly, an alarm blared throughout the command center, and red lights flashed. "Time to go!" Marcus shouted. They rushed back to the exit, but they were not alone. Alien guards rushed in, weapons raised and ready to fire. "Cover me!" Marcus yelled. Lisa stepped forward, firing her weapon with precision. She took down the first alien before ducking behind a wall for cover. David worked quickly to hack into the command center's systems, trying to disable the alarm. With the aliens closing in, Sarah used her speed to dart around, distracting the guards. She zipped from one side of the room to the other, causing confusion. "Over here!" she shouted, drawing their attention. As the aliens focused on Sarah, Marcus seized the moment. He charged forward, tackling the closest guard to the ground. A fierce struggle ensued, but Marcus used his strength to overpower the alien, quickly taking its weapon. Meanwhile, David finally managed to shut off the alarm. "Got it! Now let's get out of here!" The team worked together, fighting their way through the command center. They were outnumbered, but their training and teamwork made them powerful. As they escaped into the street, they heard the sounds of battle raging outside. The aliens had begun their attack, and the city was in chaos. But the super soldiers were ready. They regrouped and formed a plan to counterattack. "Let's hit them hard," Marcus said, his voice filled with resolve. "We can't let them take this city. We fight for the people." The team nodded, adrenaline coursing through them. They raced toward the heart of the battle, determined to push the aliens back. As they fought through the streets, they encountered more alien soldiers. But with each enemy they took down, their confidence grew. Together, the super soldiers became a force of nature. They fought fiercely, showing the aliens that humanity was not finished. With every victory, they inspired hope in the hearts of the people. The tide was turning, and the super soldiers were ready to reclaim their world. As the sun set on the battlefield, they could see the determination in their enemies' eyes. The aliens were no longer confident, they were afraid. And the super soldiers knew they were just getting started. The counterattack had begun, and nothing would stop them now. The battle raged on, and the city was in chaos. The super soldiers moved with precision, striking at the heart of the alien forces. Marcus led the charge, his eyes focused on their main goal, the alien commander. He was the key to stopping the invasion, and the soldiers needed to confront him. "Stick together," Marcus called out as they navigated through the wreckage. Buildings crumbled around them, but the soldiers remained determined. They fought their way through waves of alien soldiers, using their skills to take down enemies left and right. Sarah dashed forward, her speed allowing her to weave through enemy fire. She took out an alien soldier with a swift kick, then turned to her comrades. "This way! I see the command center ahead!" The group followed her lead, adrenaline pumping through their veins. They could hear the deep, booming voice of the alien commander over the sounds of battle. His voice was filled with anger as he barked orders at his troops. The team knew they were close. As they approached the command center, they saw the alien commander standing tall, surrounded by his guards. He was a massive figure with glowing green skin and a fierce expression. "You foolish humans!" he roared. "You dare challenge me? You will pay for your insolence." Marcus stepped forward, raising his weapon. "We're not afraid of you. This ends now." The alien commander laughed, a chilling sound that echoed through the chaos. "You think you can defeat me? I am the strongest among my kind." Without hesitation, he raised his hand, and a blast of energy shot toward Marcus. But the super soldier was ready. He dove to the side, narrowly avoiding the attack. The ground exploded where he had stood moments before. "Now!" Marcus shouted, signaling his team. They moved as one, attacking the guards surrounding the commander. Lisa took aim, her eyes steady as she fired shot after shot, taking down aliens with deadly accuracy. David hacked into the command center systems, causing confusion among the alien ranks. Sarah rushed in, using her speed to create distractions. She flipped and dodged around the guards, drawing their attention away from Marcus. "Over here, you big lizards!" she taunted, her laughter ringing out amidst the chaos. The alien commander growled in frustration. "Stop them! Do not let them get close!" But the super soldiers were relentless. They worked together, combining their skills in a seamless dance of combat. Marcus and David flanked the commander, trying to catch him off guard. With a powerful leap, Marcus tackled one of the guards, creating an opening for David. The tech expert took advantage of the distraction, diving toward the commander. But the alien was quick. He spun around, delivering a heavy punch that sent David flying back. "You think you can defeat me?" the commander snarled. "I will crush you all! Not if we can help it!" Marcus yelled, rallying his team. They regrouped, forming a tight circle around the commander. Each soldier took a deep breath, focusing on their training and the mission ahead. With a nod from Marcus, they launched their final assault. Lisa fired her weapon, hitting the commander's shield, creating sparks that illuminated the darkened command center. Sarah moved in with blinding speed, delivering quick strikes that kept the commander off balance. Just as the alien began to recover, David hacked into the alien's shield, sending a shockwave through it. The energy field flickered, weakening under his assault. "Now!" he shouted, realizing they had an opening. Marcus took advantage of the moment, rushing forward with all his strength. He unleashed a powerful blow to the commander's midsection, causing the alien to stagger back. "This is for Earth!" Marcus roared, feeling a surge of power. With their commander distracted, the super soldiers launched their final attacks. Sarah delivered a flurry of punches and kicks while Lisa fired with precision. David supported them by disrupting the command center's systems, causing chaos among the alien ranks. The alien commander howled in rage, his eyes blazing with fury. But the combined efforts of the super soldiers were too much. With one final blow, Marcus struck the commander down, and he crashed to the ground, defeated. Breathing heavily, the soldiers stood over the fallen commander. They had faced their greatest challenge and emerged victorious. The sound of battle began to fade as the remaining alien forces fled in fear. "We did it," Marcus said, a mix of disbelief and triumph in his voice. The soldiers shared looks of relief and pride. They had faced overwhelming odds and won. But even in their moment of victory, they knew the fight was not over. The aliens might retreat for now, but they would return. The super soldiers had proven their strength and resilience, but they needed to be ready for whatever came next. As the sun began to rise over the city, casting a warm glow on the wreckage, the team looked ahead. They had fought bravely, and their journey was just beginning. They were Earth's last hope, and they would continue to stand against the alien threat. Together, they would protect their home at all costs. The sun rose over the city, casting a warm light on the destruction left by the battle. The air was still thick with smoke, but the sound of fighting had faded. The super soldiers stood together, surveying the scene before them. They had fought bravely and won, but the victory felt bittersweet amidst the ruins. "Look at what we've done," Lisa said quietly, her eyes scanning the wreckage. "So many lives lost. We need to help those who survived." Marcus nodded, feeling the weight of her words. "You're right. Our fight isn't over. We have to rebuild and protect our people." David stepped forward, his mind racing with ideas. "We can start by securing the area and helping anyone who might be trapped. There might be survivors in the buildings." Sarah looked at the crumbled structures around them, her heart heavy. "I can scout ahead and check for survivors. I'll be quick." Without waiting for a response, she dashed off, her speed carrying her effortlessly through the debris. As Sarah searched the area, the rest of the team moved to help those who were injured. They set up a makeshift medical station, gathering supplies from the remnants of the alien command center. The soldiers worked together, using their training to care for the wounded. "Here, take this," Marcus said, handing a water bottle to a young girl who had lost her home. "You'll be okay. We're here to help." The girl looked up at him, tears in her eyes, but she managed a small nod. After a few hours, Sarah returned, her face determined. "I found a group of survivors in one of the buildings. They're scared, but they're safe for now. We need to get them out." "Let's go," Marcus said, rallying the team. They moved quickly toward the building Sarah had mentioned, ready to help anyone who needed it. As they approached, they heard the sound of crying and voices echoing from inside. The soldiers entered the building cautiously, the air thick with dust. Inside, they found a group of frightened families huddled together. "You're safe now!" Lisa called out, her voice calm and reassuring. "We're here to help you." The survivors looked up, relief washing over their faces. One mother stepped forward, her eyes filled with gratitude. "Thank you. We thought we were trapped for good." With the survivors gathered, the team led them out into the open. The sun shone brightly, a stark contrast to the darkness of the past few hours. The super soldiers helped the families find safety in a nearby shelter, ensuring they had food and water. After ensuring the survivors were cared for, the team gathered to discuss their next steps. "We need to work together to rebuild the city," David said, looking around at his comrades. "We can't let fear take hold. We have to show everyone that we are strong and united." Marcus agreed, feeling a renewed sense of purpose. "We'll need to contact the other survivors from different cities. If we come together, we can rebuild and defend ourselves against any future attacks." As they made plans, Sarah raised her hand. "We should also train the civilians. They need to know how to protect themselves. We can teach them some basic survival skills." "That's a great idea," Lisa added. "Empowering them will help everyone feel safer. They'll know they can fight back if they have to." The team began to gather supplies and materials, setting up training sessions for the survivors. Day by day, the city transformed from a battlefield into a place of hope. The super soldiers worked tirelessly, teaching the civilians how to defend themselves, build shelters, and find food. Months passed, and the city slowly began to heal. The sounds of laughter and chatter replaced the echoes of gunfire. People worked together, sharing stories of survival and resilience. The super soldiers had not only defended their home, but had also inspired a community. One evening, as the sun set, casting a golden glow over the city, Marcus stood on a hill overlooking the rebuilding efforts. He felt a sense of pride swell within him. "We did this," he said to his friends who stood beside him. "We fought for our people, and now they're fighting for each other." David smiled, feeling hopeful for the future. "We've shown them that they are not alone. Together we are stronger." Sarah nodded, her eyes sparkling. "And if the aliens ever come back, they'll find a united front waiting for them." Lisa placed her hand on Marcus's shoulder. "We will always stand together, no matter what challenges come our way." With their hearts full of hope, the super soldiers looked out over the city, ready to face whatever lay ahead. They had emerged from the darkness, and now they would lead humanity into a brighter future, hand in hand with those they had saved.